And we have more breaking news. A jury has finally been selected and opening statements are getting started in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Prosecutors are expected to paint Combs as the head of a criminal organization who exploited his fame and fortune to sexually abuse women and men.
This trial in the music industry gets underway, tensions are already running high. Serious trouble may be looming for Diddy. In a recent interview, singer Al B. Sure made shocking revelations that could change the course of the case. He announced his intention to testify against Diddy, and he didn't hold back. Al B. Sure alleged that Diddy may have been involved in Kim Porter's death, and even claimed that Diddy might have tried to have him silenced as people have been waiting to see Diddy held accountable. For a long time, he seemed untouchable, like he could do whatever he wanted in the music industry. During the 2000s and 2010s, he gained a reputation for being a behind-the-scenes bully. One of the people who had to endure that side of him was Al B. Sure. Al and Diddy go way back. In the early 1990s, Al B. Sure was in a relationship with Kim Porter, and the two had a son together named Quincy. But after their breakup, Kim began dating Diddy around 1994. According to former bodyguard Gene Deal, Diddy didn't just start a relationship with Kim. He allegedly stole her from Al.
Him and Al never been the best of friends. He had motherfuckers think that he had adopted Quincy, and he never did. Al was never out of his son's life. I knew Al way back in Mount Vernon. He used to wear leather pants and 100 degrees. with Al. I knew it way back then, though, man. Al a good dude. A good dude. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if Al got something to say about that's happening to him and Puff has something to do with it, trust and believe he gonna have evidence to substantiate that Puff did that shit. Either he gave him something or sent something his way.
But what was the beef between Al B. Sure and Diddy? Like, why wasn't they on good terms?
And it was dating Kim. You understand? That's his kid's mother. And they was cool. They was friends. Misa and Kim was cool. They was all in that Uptown family. Uptown Records family. How you gonna date the mother of you my man, you cool. We all be around each other. And you dating the mother of my son. Alan never go try to date Misa.
Diddy eventually adopted Quincy and raised him as his own son. His relationship with Kim Porter continued on and off until 2007. Years later, Diddy admitted that their breakup was due to his infidelity. But according to those close to the situation, there was much more happening behind the scenes. Diddy's former bodyguard has claimed that the music mogul was violent, not only toward Kim Porter, but also toward other women, including singer Cassie. These disturbing allegations paint a much darker picture of what was really going on during those years.
A lot of things happened to Kim that she never explained to her father. So to see that girl take that beating like that, her father probably thought within himself, that's some of the things that happened to my daughter. And it has to be sickening to him, knowing that his daughter probably went through the same shit that Cassie went through.
Yeah, he made a comment saying that he was disgusted when he seen that video. He even said that he wouldn't even do a dog like that, the way Diddy did Cassie.
Yeah. His heart would go out to Cassie because he's looking at the fact that his daughter's not here to even raise her own damn kids, man. His daughter's not here in the seat because I got daughters myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I give my heartbeat both my arms. And just to imagine to think that somebody was doing that to your daughter, bruh. I know Kim got tired. That's why she took that corkscrew and ripped his damn arm out. Tried to rip his arm off for putting his hands on him. I know she was tired. Them pillow fights and that smothering her with the pillows and all that, like he playing with her. I know she was tired.
Yeah, he also told Rolling Stone that Diddy, he's a jealous person that don't know what love is.
He knows that, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody. You understand what I'm saying, bruh? Diddy could do whatever, Puff could do whatever he wanted to do, Brother Love could do whoever he wanted to be. If Kim ever tried to get with somebody, Puff would interfere with them or with her.
One disturbing story shared by Diddy's former bodyguard involved an incident on Sunset Boulevard. He claimed Diddy got physical with Kim Porter inside a car. When Kim stepped out, she acted like nothing had happened, but she stood her ground. She warned Diddy not to ever lay a hand on her again, or she'd make sure the world saw exactly what he did. It was a moment that revealed both her strength and a troubling pattern of behavior. What Cassie experienced years later wasn't new. Kim had already lived through similar abuse. At first, Al B sure said he had no issues with Diddy, but everything changed when Kim confided in him, telling him she feared for her life. She was scared Diddy might seriously hurt her. Then, in 2018, Kim died suddenly. She had been battling flu-like symptoms, and the official cause of death was listed as pneumonia. Diddy publicly expressed heartbreak, saying he still loved her deeply, even though they were no longer together. But Al B sure didn't buy it. He believed Diddy's grief was an act, and worse, he suspected Diddy may have played a role in her death. Al claimed Kim had been planning to speak out about the abuse she endured, and he fears she was silenced before she got the chance.
You know, Al B. Short, he came out saying that Kim Porter death needs to be looked into.
I think that Al being his ex-wife, he have every right, knowing about the stuff that came out about Diddy and what he was doing. You understand what he has done in the past, and people have overlooked it. By him coming out and saying that he hoped that he could get her case reopened. There was a guy called John the Paperwork Party. They would put in an open petition to get Kim's case reopened. You understand what I'm saying? So I'll be sure doing this is showing that, you know, he still got love for Quincy's mother. He still want to find out the truth because allegedly Kim was fine the day before and the day of her death. And then now she found in the bed dead from pneumonia. That just don't sound right, bro. That don't sound right at all.
So you feel the same way about her death being suspect?
I don't think nobody in America think it's nothing suspicious about Kim's death, bro. If you are rich like that, you could, you know, Kim had, I think a net worth of like, what, 12 million a year or something like that? Kim could have called any doctor to come over and look at her. If she was that bad, you know, she could have called an ambulance or something like that. Everything is suspicious about her death, bruh.
Just weeks after Kim's sudden passing, Al B. Shore began speaking out, calling for an investigation into her death. But instead of support, he was met with skepticism. Many dismissed his claims, mocking him online and saying he was simply overwhelmed with grief. Still, Al didn't stay silent. He insisted that Kim had seen it coming. According to him, she had warned him that something like this might happen. She had even shown him a book she was working on, a tell-all manuscript meant to expose everything about her relationship with Diddy. To this day, many believe that unfinished book could hold the key to uncovering the truth.
Terrified of Kim Porter's book. Just like Jay-Z was afraid of Kathy White's interview. It's funny how things that they're afraid of disappear. Who you think is next on the chopping block? Because I believe there's a chopping block, and there might be. Oh, there is. Sean Carter. They're trying to avoid him. I'm going to make sure they can't. I have a total of 9 witnesses that are about to start coming forward. I'm going to walk them one by one. But the things that these people have to tell, and the video evidence and the recordings that they have, yeah. Boy, it's worse than Diddy. A lot of psychological operations being ran on employees, former girlfriends, mothers of secret children, interns that refused to sign non-disclosure agreements. Their lives were literally blown to smithereens. I was lucky to survive him. If you really look at their careers, it's just a trail of bodies that they've been stacking up. And
After recovering from his own health issues, Al B sure remained quiet until now. When news broke that Diddy was finally being sued and even arrested, Al stepped forward once again. He revealed that he didn't believe his health problems were natural. In his eyes, someone had tried to silence him. At first, people still dismissed him, calling him paranoid or crazy. But once Diddy's arrest became a reality, the narrative began to shift. Al seized the moment to speak out fully. He posted a message online saying he had been warning people for years. He tagged law enforcement, claimed he was trying to protect others, and shared details of what Kim had confided in him before her death. According to Al, Kim's phone and computer were stolen after she died, allegedly to erase the notes from her book, which he says exposed Diddy. Nearly a year ago, former bodyguard Gene Deal backed up this claim, adding even more weight to Al's story.
For this interview, that Dallas Austin, his daughter, was at her house the day she died.
Yo, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report. That Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said, but they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
I ain't know any of that, man. I never heard of that. So when they found her, she had bruises and a lot of her stuff was missing?
Bro, it's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than a house key, a woman gonna keep her phone. She got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone. Because everything that came in that phone is text, and you know your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find.
Now, Al B. Sure is calling for more than just accountability for Diddy. He's demanding a full, independent investigation, not only into Diddy, but into everyone who was around Kim Porter at the time of her death. He believes the truth has been buried for too long, and it's time for real answers, not cover-ups. One of the biggest unanswered questions remains: what happened to Kim Porter's missing device? The phone, or possibly a laptop, was reportedly part of the original case evidence and may contain the truth that's been hidden all this time. Some believe it could directly support the disturbing claims outlined in the newly released court documents. But here's where things take an even darker turn. There's growing speculation that some of the individuals connected to Kim's case may also be linked to the untimely deaths of other well-known artists. To outsiders, it might sound like a conspiracy. But to those familiar with the inner workings of the entertainment industry, it actually makes a troubling amount of sense.
Guys, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death. How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach. How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home, or her friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and this is her say, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at? That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to paperwork. At the paperwork part, I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? Al ain't no fool, bro. Al is not a fool, and he's smart by getting extra security. I don't blame him at all. If I wasn't retired, I'd probably be working for him.